Tonight, Week 8 starts. Minnesota and LA. Chargers are debuting their nice, crisp, new Supercharger uniforms. Them shits are clean as fuck. Clean AF. And, they're probably going to kick Minnesota's ass in them. So just be prepared for that ass whooping on live nationally televised television in front of the whole nation. That's going to happen tonight. So this is where things really start to get interesting because we're approaching the midway point of the season. After week 10, every team will have played at least 9 games. So that would be the midway point. And we're getting close to that point. And this is where football gets real. They say real football, the season really starts after Thanksgiving. And, I guess kind of, teams get hot at the right time, but there's still a lot that we can learn at this point right now that we're about almost 4 weeks away from that point. And there's a lot of games that I think, quite frankly, suck, to be completely real with you. There isn't a lot of great matchups to look forward to this week. Would have been the Monday night game would have been nice if Jaden Daniels was healthy. Instead, it's Mariota. But, hey, you know what? Maybe Mariota will fucking return to his Heisman form. Every week watching the Dolphins, if you're a Dolphins fan, it's just like, what play will Tua throw a pick in this game? It's just every week. It's like you're guessing, is this going to be the pass that he throws right to the middle linebacker? Find out. It honestly makes it kind of entertaining, I guess, if you're a Dolphins fan, because it's almost so laughably bad that it's like it really can't get worse, So looking at Atlanta, they came into last week with the number 1 defense in total yards. They beat Buffalo on Monday night. It could have been 31-14 if Drake London gets in the end zone. Atlanta looked horrible. They looked horrible against the Niners. Every pass was just a 5-yard out or a screen to Bijan. Bijan could be in for a hell of a day. He didn't have a great one against the Niners. I mean, he did score. The offense just looked out of sync. Penix is actually dealing with an injury too, dealing with a bone bruise, but he plans to play. The New York Jets travel to Cincinnati to play Joe Flacco, the ageless wonder Joe Flacco, and his weapons. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all of them boys are eating. Chase Brown finally had over 2 yards per carry in a game. Okay, he finally did it. On my bench in fantasy, just sitting there looking up at me after I drafted him in the 2nd round. Dude, you got to listen to this real quick. I drafted Chase Brown in the 2nd and Travion in the 5th. And then I think Travion in the 5th, and I drafted DJ Moore right after Travion. So you already know I'm fucking pissed at that. But the bright side is I have the second most points scored in my league. The downside, I'm 3-4, and I'm in 6th place. How does that make sense? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Tyrod Taylor is now the starter, most likely, for the Jets on Sunday. Justin Fields, I think his time has come. The guy won't throw the ball more than 5 yards downfield. He's scared as shit. He doesn't want to throw a pick. He doesn't throw picks, but he also doesn't throw completions. He doesn't throw, period. The guy is just not throwing the ball. He's not seeing the field well. He honestly can never see the field well. Listen, we already know what's about to happen. Joe Flacco about to have a game. Joe Flacco is about to dot him up with his veteran leadership and his old man prowess that he has. He's going to be throwing to Jamar again. Jamar Chase had the most targets he's ever had in his life playing with Joe Flacco. So you already know Joe Flacco knows that Chase is that guy, and he's got to feed him. And he's going to do it again. Jamar Chase might have another 10-plus catch game, 100-something, whatever yards, TD. And I think look for Chase Brown to have a really good day. I mean, Javonte Williams had a really good day against the Jets 3 weeks ago. Dowdle and Hubbard ran for a combined 31 times, I think. So Chase Brown, this might be Chase Brown's best game of the season. I don't think Jets stand a chance. Cincinnati, man, watch out, because I'm telling you right now, if Joe Flacco can keep them afloat and Joe Burrow is actually able to get back mid-December, and this team is what would the records be around that time? 7-6? If they're 7-6 around there, 7-7 maybe. I think this team, I'm just saying, man, watch out. Cincinnati's never a team that you want to get hot with those playmakers on offense. Cleveland and New England. Now the Browns go to New England this week, and Cleveland is coming off a pretty impressive win with a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back leading the way. The situation that Cleveland is in right now isn't ideal, but I think last week showed you that you definitely have something to build off of with the running game, the offensive line. I mean, Gabriel looked pretty good. You get the defense. We all know how good it is. And, yeah, I mean, I feel like going into New England, it's not a cakewalk, but it's not impossible. I think anytime you have a really, really good defense and you can run the ball. Yeah, the two hardest teams in the Patriots' remaining schedule is Tampa Bay and Buffalo. And everybody else has like a combined win total of like, they play the Jets twice, they play the Dolphins, they play the Giants, they play Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's getting Lamar back. But, I mean, dude, look, they're in prime position right now to start. And the thing about New England is that they're scoring points. They are like – and they could easily be – they could easily have a better record if, you know, mental errors the first few games didn't happen. I mean, the game against – I don't know how the fuck this team lost to the Raiders. I mean, that's crazy. Now, the Giants play the Eagles again, and this time they're in Philly. So a little bit different atmosphere. Coming off of that loss, fucking brutal. Like I've said brutal 20 times about this game, but it's tough, bro. You really it kind of makes you lose like morale a little bit. I mean, I feel like it has to. Like there's just no way you're going into this game. I know you beat this team 2 weeks ago, but it's just like, dude, how the fuck do you look at this team and you're like, we beat them, but it's just coming off of that loss. You don't think you could beat anyone. I mean, it's got to do something to your team. It's got to do something to your locker room. I mean, I know the guys will always have each other's backs for the most part. I feel like if you're a teammate, you know, you play for the man beside you. But I know right now, just the way that Dart is like playing and the way he is on the sideline, like he's locked in with these guys right now, and he's focused on the present moment. So that is what he needs to keep doing, because the Giants, the only hope that they have right now to even be relevant lies within the hands of Jackson Dart. So everything else is just cooked. The fucking defense is led by an idiot. Bills-Panthers. Bills travel to Charlotte in this game, and, you know, the Panthers, they've won 3 straight. Their defense is playing better each week. Bryce Young isn't going to play this week, but, I mean, Andy Dalton's a veteran. And look, the receivers for Carolina are playing really good ball. Leggett had a career game. We already know Tet McMillan is a really good rookie, and he's had some big plays in there. I think that your formula should just stay the same. If it's working, I mean, if it works, don't fix it, basically. Run the ball. Just run the ball and run it some more, because we saw what Bijan did to the Bills last week. Whether it's Chuba, whether it's Rico, Dowdle, I don't care. Just run the ball and stick with it. Don't stop. If it's not working yet, if you're getting like 2-3 yards, you're going to break one. So just keep going. You ran 31 times last week. Do it again. Do it again. Because if you can beat the Bills at home, that would be a game changer. I mean, not only do you keep your win streak going, but you beat one of the best teams in the league. And if you're the Bills and you lose this game, that's 3 straight losses. 3 straight. You lose to New England at home. You lose to Atlanta on Monday night. And then if you lose to Carolina, those are 3 teams that I can guarantee you everybody when the season started, they predicted you to win. So it's going to be tough if you come out of week 8 with 3 straight losses on your record. It's going to be it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. The thing that you've seen in Buffalo's 2 straight losses is that James Cook's production went down. And by his production, I mean really his usage went down. He had a good game against Atlanta when they used him, but they took him out every 3rd down. He did not play a 3rd down snap, and he only played like 56% of the snaps, if I'm not mistaken. He still had like 80 yards on the ground, and that's a good day, but still, it's just, you don't have him on a 3rd down snap once. Doesn't make any sense. And it was the same thing in the Patriots game. His snap percentage went down, his usage went down, and they lost. So it's kind of hard to be like, if you win your first 3, and James Cook's production was very, very good. You gave him the ball like a lot. He had like 20 plus touches every game. And then you look at your 2 losses and he doesn't have that many touches. It's kind of obvious what's not the reason you're losing, or one of the big reasons that you're losing. It's because your best player on offense isn't touching the ball enough. Sometimes it really is that simple. So if I'm Buffalo, get James Cook the ball on third down in the red zone, on screen passes, however way you can. That's more than just giving him a straight handoff when he's in the game. That's my advice, and I think you would win. The Bears go into Chicago to play the Ravens, and I think that the Ravens season is probably done. I mean, 1-5. It's not impossible to come back from, but it's very, very hard. I mean, the Colts in 2018 did it. They went 1-5, and they made the playoffs. They made the divisional round, so it's not impossible. It really isn't, but especially when you have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson and you have a coach like John Harbaugh, who people are saying he's on the hot seat, and it's like, I mean, but just think about that for a second. If you let him go, he would be the top head coach candidate easily. Like, in a heartbeat, he would be the number one guy. I really like Ben Johnson, bro. I feel like he's so locked in. Like, he just is so precise. He's like attention to detail kind of guy. He knows what he wants out of the offense. He just really seems like he's dialed, absolutely dialed. He reminds me of like McVay a little bit, like Sean McVay. I think they're very similar in like personality, the way they go about the game on Sunday. You could just see him, like the way he is. I like him a lot. I think Chicago got a very good fit with him. Him and Caleb, I think they're going to have a great 10-plus year career together. So, I think they keep it rolling against the Ravens, unfortunately. Until now, I don't think Lamar coming back really means much. They're just not really playing good football outside of not having Lamar Jackson. San Francisco goes to Houston to play their former defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. And Saleh and DeMeco were on the same squad from 19. I think DeMeco was there in 19. I think DeMeco was the linebackers coach, if I'm not mistaken. And then he got promoted to DC when Saleh left in 21. So, yeah, DeMeco was there with us from, I don't know when exactly he got there, but he was there when Saleh was there. And, yeah, DeMeco said that Saleh taught him everything that he needs to know to be a coach. Like, he taught him how to be a coach, basically. Saleh is like the royalty. He is the top dog. And when it comes to defensive coordinators and just defensive knowledge and scheming and everything. And it's going to be like, it's just going to be one of those games where it's going to be down to the wire, who has the ball last. We're going to see I think both teams are going to turn it over. It's just one of those games where you just kind of know what's going to happen when it comes to, and coaches know this. Coaches already know how the game is going to go in a sense, especially someone like Kyle Shanahan, who's so attention to detail. He's like, you're going to have plays where you get stuffed in the backfield. Like, you're going to have plays where you break 1 for 10. There's probably going to be a few batted balls. We're probably going to get we're going to get sacked a few times. Houston takes the ball away. They get pressure. They're disciplined. They're coached by a disciplined coach. I mean, it's going to be a game of chess. Nice little game of chess. I think Shanahan knows like every game counts this year so much more than any other year. It's your philosophy never changes, I guess, every year. You go into the year with the same, mindset, the same goal. But some years are just different in terms of the vibe and energy and just how you're just rolling. Sometimes your play calling is just better, not because you have different plays or whatever, but just you're just luckier. You just get luckier. Like, the play works when it didn't last year. Yeah, it's sometimes it really is just like that. Sometimes you have the same offense. You just didn't get things to go your way a lot of times. And this year we're getting a lot of things to go our way. And, but it's also a credit to the coaches. And I think it's going to be, I said this last video, I think it's going to be like a very low scoring, like 19-16, 23-17, something like that. It's going to be a low scoring game. And I think that, or maybe not, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. You never know with the NFL, but that's what I anticipate because of just how both guys, DeMeco and Robert Saleh, are like the top tier when it comes to defensive coaching. So, yeah, I think the Niners squeeze it out though. I think they get it done. I think they keep it rolling, man. Bucks and Saints. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off a tough loss. I think if you're Tampa Bay, you need to get Rachaad White going. You need to get him the ball more in the run game. And Rachaad White, he isn't an efficient runner. He is a very good athlete who makes plays in the passing game and sometimes breaks one in the run game, but it's tough with him. When you don't have Bucky Irving, I feel like Bucky's your engine, he makes, that whole offense go in a way, and not having him is tough. If you can find some way to get the run game going with it, either if it's Sean Tucker or if it's Rashad White, find a way to do that. I think that would benefit you a lot, just so you can establish something for the future. Just so that you know that if it's Rashad White or Sean Tucker, you can get them going on the ground. And they really haven't been able to do that all season, really. They really haven't been great running the ball at all, even when Bucky Irving was there. So if they can do that this game, that would be very helpful. And the Saints are the team to do it against. I mean, they're just not very good in any way. So I think Tampa Bay bounces back this week easily. Cowboys and Broncos, this is the game of the week. This is a very anticipated game. The Broncos defense against the Cowboys offense sounds really, really fun. I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb might be the best wide receiver duo in the league right now. I mean, Lamb came back and just picked up right where he left off. George Pickens has been flawless this year. There's only one George Pickens, man. One of one, truly. The guy is a fucking beast. He's an interesting guy, too. I would want to sit down and fucking watch a game with him. He might get up and stand like this at the TV like he did at the draft. The one thing that we know about the Broncos is that they are never out of a game. So no matter how many points Dallas scores, the Broncos will be right there to score right back. And yeah, it doesn't matter if the Cowboys get up to a 10-point lead. I think if you're Dallas, you're going to have to make this game into a shootout. You're going to have to play your game. You played a great game against the Commanders last week. Your defense looked better. But we already know Denver's defense is elite. So if you're Dallas and you get stuck at like 13 points, I don't think you're winning that game. Even 20 points, dude. I don't even think that's enough. That's how bad Dallas's defense is. So I think if you're Dallas, you got to make this into your game and make it a shootout somehow. I mean, that's what the Giants did, and they still lost. So I don't think the Cowboys win. But if they have any chance, you got to make it a shootout. I think Denver keeps it rolling. Denver's for real, man. Denver is for real. Tennessee and Indy. Tennessee is ass. They're ass. And the Colts are the complete opposite of ass. This might be the most lopsided victory in all of football this season. The Colts, technically, in the last 20 years, they have the best offense in terms of points per drive. There's no flaw in this offense. The offensive line is amazing. Everything about this offense is just unfair, to be completely honest with you. So here it is. The Colts have the best offense of the last decade. They have 3.46 points per drive, this year's Colts. That is better than the 2007 Patriots, the 2018 Chiefs, the 2020 Packers, and the 2024 Lions. Now, 3 of those teams had the MVP. Their quarterback won MVP that year. Yeah, the Colts are going to fucking roll. They're going to fucking roll Sunday. It might be like 38-0. That's how fucking bad they might beat them. We got Green Bay and Pittsburgh on Sunday night, the long-anticipated game of Aaron Rodgers playing his former team for the first time in his career. Rodgers has a chance to beat all 32 teams on Sunday. They're playing in Pittsburgh, so a little bit of a letdown that you're not playing in Green Bay to get that, that atmosphere. But this is going to be a tight game. The Packers are the 1 seed right now in the NFC. It doesn't feel like it, but they are. They run the ball really well. Josh Jacobs, has been balling. Once again, he's going to score a whole bunch of touchdowns again this year. The one thing, though, about Pittsburgh is that I feel like they do not have somebody that, look, they ran the ball like 30 times with Gainwell in London, but I just don't think he can do that like back-to-back games going for 20-plus carries, especially in the playoffs when it's cold as shit. You need someone like that. They don't really have that right now. They don't have a good running back that can go for 20-plus carries every other game. That's the one thing that I think is going to hold Pittsburgh back. I think that they'll win this game just because it's in Pittsburgh. If they were in Green Bay, I would pick Green Bay. But I think Rodgers, he's just not going to lose to his former team, man. He's just not going to lose. You already know that he's gonna pull off some crazy shit at the end. Something's going to happen. They're going to have a game-winning drive. He's not going to lose to his former team. He's not going to do it. I just can't see it. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one. And last game, Manders and Chiefs. Damn, Marcus Mariota's playing in this game. Maybe Heisman Mariota shows up real quick and dips. Jaden Daniels is dealing with a hammy. He should be back next week. I mean, the Commanders haven't had their The Commanders haven't had Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel all on the same field for this in the same game since like week 3 or something like that. So no, week 1, I think that was the last time. Because yeah, that was the last time. I think they were all on the field together. I think the Commanders are gonna lose, and it's not looking too good. You dropped the 3-5 on the year. You got a lot of injuries to deal with. They just keep coming. You get Deebo and McLaurin back this week, but you know I can't. Kansas City is just rolling right now, man. They're so efficient, dude. I mean, Rashee Rice is like a cheat code for that offense. I mean, it just makes he's like the new Travis Kelce essentially. So, and you know, Pacheco scored a touchdown finally this year. Run game looked a little better. Yeah, the Chiefs are always going to find a way to get new guys the ball. Brashard Smith last week got a lot of touches, was effective. I mean, they just completely handled the Raiders. They just handled them like in every way. Every way. Defensively, they're sound. Spags is the GOAT. Probably going to be a blowout. It was fun while it lasted. The Chiefs were bad for a little bit, and then, of course, they find a way to make it happen again. It's never going to be you. Whatever team you like, it's never going to be you. Just always know that. It's never going to be you. It's always going to be the Chiefs or some fuck-ass team randomly. I'm from New Jersey. Tony Soprano, Gabagool, Bada Bing, Baba Booey, Bruce Springsteen, Paulie D, the Jersey Shore. I'm from New Jersey. Taylor Ham, Egg, and Cheese, your sister's ass. Go follow the Deep Ball on Instagram, the best football account. The best football account. It's the best. Go make that happen. Go follow it. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.